Are women truly safe in India, legally and socially? How can a woman protect herself before when a harm comes in?
State we have Kavalan app, National Police Helpline number that is 1098.
If a woman faces an harassment, violence, or even discrimination, what should be her immediate legal action?
Women need to come out of this frame to understand like when there is abuse, it is actionable. Presence of laws are there. Breaking the ceiling is not happening by the women and girls. We are legally sound, but socially we are evolving.
I agree, ma'am. Hey everyone, welcome to the episode of Law, Rights and Women Safety. Today we have Dr. Dilshad Sheikh, Dean, School of Law at Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. Welcome to the podcast, ma'am. We're extremely honored to have you here today.
Thank you, Ms. Joshika, having me.
Probably we might have one of the biggest question or pertinent question. So that question is, are women truly safe in India, legally and socially?
I'm really happy to answer this question because it is having a lot of relevance on this occasion. Now, when we talk about safety of women in India, India is a country where plethora of legislations are available and our constitution has guaranteed equality, personal liberty to all the citizens of India. But at the end of the day, when we are looking at the presence of legislations and the working of the legislations, the problem has been identified at some point where whether all the laws are to be implemented that has been made, but whether they have been implemented and are there any gaps in the implementation. Now the point is presence of legislations is one aspect and the availability of the source that has reaching to the women for their safety, protection is another dimension of it. Socially, because of the social stigma or the victim blaming, women are not coming forward to take up the mechanism that is available or offered by the system. Here we would like to understand the situation wherein how sensitive the institutions are for the protection of women socially, the safety of women like Domestic Violence Act or the POSH Act, and also so many legislations that are there. But at the end of the day, the complaining mechanism or the implementation mechanism or the gaps in it need to be viewed up.
So, ma'am, the gap isn't in the law. It's in how the society and the system react.
Exactly. We have legislations, implementing of it or basically complaining about an abuse is in the hands of society and especially in the hands of women.
Exactly, ma'am. Ma'am, as you said, it's in implementation. I want something more about legal remedies, ma'am. How can a woman protect herself before when a harm comes in?
That is nice. The question alerts and alarms the society, wherein we really talk about so many aspects about when harm is done, when abuse has been done, how women need to approach and what legal measures that we have, what legal remedies that we have. Actually, like being women and girl child people or the women should be aware of the mechanism and the remedies that are available.
Yes.
And the resources that are available in our society. Like, for example, when we talk about the protection layer that has been made well before any of the abuse or any of the safety breach that will happen. Like, for example, in our state, we have Kavalan app, where the app will be downloaded by the women or the girl child, and if they are in crisis, they can access to the safety mechanism well in advance. And we also have National Police Helpline number that is 1098, and National Women Helpline number 181, and Cybercrime Helpline that is on 1930. The access for safety we can easily take before the damage happens or the harm happens.
As you said and kept in this consideration, law is like preventive, not we can't say it's reactive, we can also say it's preventive. Knowing
Preventive
law.
justice, you must be asking about me about the preventive justice, and it is always appreciated, Joshika. Like when it has been preventive justice is available, there is no point in really taking up the things that are coming that are not very well accepted, and subsequently we are getting into legal remedies. And to add something to it, women, they being having lot of awareness about the availability of the legal remedies. Along with that, if a woman is really having lot of understanding about it and becoming an informed woman by having empowerment in the form of her rights, like the right to know and right to understand things properly,
Okay.
and right to have her own property rights, and an informed woman is much protected in our society, I believe.
Okay. If a woman faces an harassment, violence, or even discrimination, what should be her immediate legal action?
The most important thing is to act early,
Yes, ma'am.
and a woman can file an FIR at any police station
Okay.
through zero FIR. Jurisdiction does not matter.
Getting it.
And after this, she is entitled to get a free copy of FIR and free legal aid and a dignified medical examination.
Okay.
And for for example, for domestic violence and similar kind of offenses, the law recognizes emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, economic abuse, and a woman can seek protection orders and residence rights without leaving her own home.
Yes, ma'am.
And for workplace harassment, we have POSH Act. And if any such mechanism is available, and the woman need to get awareness about where is redressal mechanism is available, where the grievance can be spoken about. If at all some cyber crime happened, she need to preserve the evidence. She need to preserve the screenshots and URLs, the messages, and also report it to the National Cyber Crime Reporting Portal.
Exactly.
So at the end, I would like to tell like quick response towards the complaining mechanism is very more important
Yes.
in any of the offenses that are happening that involves abuse or sexual harassment.
Okay, ma'am. So, what I understood is law has many doors. The real challenge is knowing which door to knock on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Now, when it comes to your experience, what's your experience? Give us some of the legal aspect of where women are still unaware of certain rights now. What are those?
Basically, women are aware of their rights. Despite that, to act immediately is a step that they really feel like something hesitating towards it.
Exactly.
Point is like they always think like, is this serious enough to react? And they always have in their mind like, should I adjust? And if I complain or if I react this way, what people will say.
Exactly.
So women need to come out of this frame to understand like when there is abuse, it is actionable. Legal pathway or the remedies that are available are at its place. But at the end of the day, the strongest right of women is not just protection, but it is the right to take space, raise, and raise her voice rather, to be specific, and demand the accountability and the respect what she has that need to be retained. If there is some sort of attack towards it, presence of laws are there, but breaking the ceiling is not happening by the women and girl child.
Exactly, ma'am. India has many women-centric schemes, ma'am. But my question is, are these schemes reaches the Indian women?
In fact, policies are strong. The access to policies is depending on so many factors like the lack of awareness, digital literacy gaps that are available in our society, that are prevailing in our society rather,
Yes.
and also the documentation hurdles and social restrictions. These are few things what I mentioned like that are becoming like the hiccups in the way of the policies and access to policies. Success need to be measured by access in the case of policies rather than announcements.
Okay, ma'am. If a young woman who's listening to our podcast today was unsure about her legal right, what shall be the steps taken to learn about the legal rights, ma'am?
I suggest like the women should start with awareness, and women should know their rights today, and they should save emergency numbers, and also like they need to learn where, if at all they are with some institution, then they need to know like where the institution grievance mechanism is. If it is a workplace, they need to know where they need to raise their complaint or file their complaint if some sort of abuse happens. And empowerment, I really believe that empowerment does not begin in courts or courtrooms.
Yes.
Empowerment begins with confidence and within, with a lot of understanding and awareness and information.
Exactly.
We are legally sound, but socially we are evolving.
I agree, ma'am. So thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am. It was such a eye-opening conversation and it was really grounded. So thank you so much for your knowledge. And to the person who's sharing or who's listening to this podcast today, what's that one right that you're going to learn today? Because safety isn't just written in law books, because we have rights, we have a lot of safety which was written in law books, and that has to be implemented in real life. With that said, we would like to conclude our session. Thank you so much.
On the occasion of Women's Day, happy Women's Day to all. And an empowered woman is a strength to the society and also strength to all women folk. At the end, I would like to tell women should not place themselves in a situation where who will let them, but they should be strong enough to understand things and then question like who can stop them. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.